All right, welcome back. Let's continue this conversation now. I'm now being joined on the program by Mike Ejiofor, who is a former director of the Department of State Services, DSS. Mr. Ejiofor, thank you very much for joining us on the program. You heard what the president said when he met with relatives of victims of that train attack. That's the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. Something quite instructive, he said, that look, that the government and of course the security agencies did consider storming where the victims or the captives are being kept now, but that when they considered the danger involved and the potential collateral damage, they decided to reluctantly, according to him, jettison the idea. What do you make of the president's statement?
Well, Mr. President is right in his statement, because if you go and strike the bandits in their hideout, honestly, there will be collateral damage. But if we actually use better technology, like the one used by the United States to release one of the citizens, I think it will be better. But for now, since we don't have such precision in terms of geolocation and taking out the victims without collateral damage, I think the best thing, we should concentrate on seeing how these people will be released. And when they are released, we'll concentrate efforts to prevent further kidnapping instead of allowing the kidnap to take place before we start looking for a way to get them free.
Now, don't you think these terrorists understand the challenge that we have in this country, the challenge that our security agencies have, that our security agencies, just as you have said, certainly do not have certain capacities, and so they are taking advantage of this to commit their terrorist act?
It's not really that we don't have the capacity. Yes, to some extent, we don't have the capacity. But, like I have earlier suggested, the best thing is to prevent them from kidnapping victims. So how do we do this? We use area attack when they move, because they move in drones, in motorbikes. So if we have effective drones that can monitor these people, as soon as they move and they are located in the radar, the best thing is for the Air Force to go and bomb them and take them out. You remember what is happening in Katsina and all this. They have been bombed and one of their leaders has been killed. And so I think we're making progress. The president has assured us that he has given them full free hand to operate. So we should expect that they deploy all necessary machineries to ensure that these bandits are brought to justice.
And I mean, you've made some very important points there, but sometimes is it so easy to know when, for instance, these bandits are going for operation? Is it easy to know, for instance, when the plan to strike and all of that, so that you can deploy some kind of preemptive action, if you like? Isn't this a challenge too for our security agencies? Because sometimes if you don't have this intelligence that something like this is going to happen, it'll be difficult for you to respond. You also have to consider, the vastness of this country, the vastness of some of these places where these attacks happen.
Well, it's easy if you have the effective technology, efficient technology. Like I said, when they move from their base, because you should remember that the governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, and also they know their discussion. So as soon as they move, I think the best thing is to deploy all this and get them crushed before they come into town. And so if you have the effective technology, it's easy. It's not going to be difficult.
Let me also get your take on the recent breakthrough that the security agencies recorded in the case of that church attack at Owo. I mean, the arrests that have been made, and clearly the Chief of Defense Staff made it, clear that it was a collaborative effort now between the military and sister security agencies. How important is this collaboration? Because it appears we're beginning to see results now when this collaboration works.
Well, collaboration is very, very necessary if we must win this war. No single agency can take the credit or glory, and that's why the CDS also maintained that it was a collaborative effort of all the security agencies. The intelligence will be there, the action agencies will be involved, so everybody will be involved. And when we do it in that same way, everybody will get good results. So I believe that our agencies must collaborate more, synergize, and ensure this. I give you an example. You know, we cannot continue to emphasize on this issue of only one jack solution of arms. You know, we have to look at other solutions, other options. The localized vigilante, if you look at what is happening in Ondo State, I'm talking of regional security outfit and the state security outfit, intelligence and vigilante, if you mind, you know, the way they've been working. You see the number of people intercepted with motorcycles, people hiding under the vehicle with motorcycles on top and a cow. Nobody would have ordinarily suspected that such a move would be taking place. So it calls for vigilance on part of the citizens, on part of the security agencies. If they took off from Taraba and all these areas and got as far as the Ondo State unintercepted, that shows that there's laxity on the part of our security agencies. So we need to up our games in terms of being vigilant and conscious of our environment. The Amotekun, for instance, in Ondo State has been very effective. They have assisted the police, they have assisted the various security agencies in getting all these, making these arrests. So I believe that there must be synergy, there must be local collaboration with the citizens. You remember also that the governor of Ondo State did mention that they were housed in a place before they went to strike. Yes. So what it means is that before this action took place, they were resident with some people. And I've said it times without number, when people say that these bandits are not foreigners, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult for them to operate without local collaboration of the citizens.
Now let's still talk about that attack. From what has been disclosed, I mean, obviously the chief of defense staff, clearly made it very clear that those who have been arrested essentially are from Kogi State. And it would appear we're beginning to see some terror cells in Kogi State. Not now, I mean, that fear had always been there. And we're also beginning to see the movement of these terror cells now from the north central to the southwest. I mean, they're crossing from Kogi, for instance, to Ondo. Ondo, of course, borders Kogi State. How concerned are you that we're beginning to see terrorism now? I mean, these terrorists now move to the southwest of the country, because from the southwest, it could cover the whole of the south of the country.
Well, some of the operators or the terrorists are actually from Kogi. Those who are even operating in Borno, the northeast, for instance. So with the intense effort on part of the security agencies, you can see that they are now dispersing from the northeast to northwest, and northwest they're coming back to their base, which is Kogi State, and spreading to southwest, which is also a neighboring Nigeria. And some of the people arrested from the account are from Kogi State, and it calls for real concern because, in fact, you know, there was a time the incidents of kidnapping in Kogi State between Lokoja and Okene was very, very rampant until actions were taken by the government to clear the two sides of the bushes, now making the place visible for people who are for motorists. I think that to some large extent, reduced the number of kidnaps. And they now move towards Jokuta and Ejule and all the rest of them. So I am concerned, like you asked, that some of these terrorists and bandits are from Kogi State. So government should also concentrate efforts in getting all these people out from the bush before they spread the more.
Yeah, because there's a real concern that if they could come to Ondo State to carry out an attack, even though Owo is a boundary local government area, you could have them come inwards as well, and probably, as you have said, fan out to other parts of the south. But let me also ask you this. From the latest efforts that you have seen, because you look at for the past week now or two, the security agencies have been recording some successes against not just insurgents now, but banditry. They've been going after these bandits and terrorists now, going after their leaders. In just 1 week, about 3 of these top bandit terrorists now were killed. What would be your assessment of this?
Well, my assessment is that when our military and the security agencies are given free hands to operate, they're very efficient. The problem is that the environment in which they operate gives account for this. There's corruption everywhere. Some of them compromise their operations. And with these intense efforts on part of government and the leadership of the various security agencies, I think we should be getting results. And that is to say that there must be change in tactics, there must be change in strategy, there must be change in terms of operations for us to get rid of these bandits. I think within a given time, there's no society without crimes. You cannot completely eliminate them, but I think to some extent, let's get this reduced to the barest minimum.
Mike Ejiofor, former Director, Department of State Services, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.